Good morning and a very warm welcome. I'm Pratibha Chandran. Thank you for joining us this morning. First up, let's get you breaking updates now coming in of Maduro pleading not guilty to U.S. drug charges. The toppled Venezuelan president, Nicolas Maduro, has pleaded not guilty in court to the narcotics charges after President Donald Trump's stunning capture of him rattled the world leaders and left officials in Caracas scrambling to regroup. Our senior consulting editor, Srinjoy Chaudhary, joins us on the broadcast with the details. Srinjoy, take us through what's happening in the court.
This was entirely expected. Nicolas Maduro, President of Venezuela, still President of Venezuela, because interim President Rodriguez is, after all, interim President. She was Vice President and she is now interim President. Maduro remains President, and Maduro has stood up in court and said he is not guilty of drug trafficking, of narco-terrorism, and all the charges that have been placed against him. Instead, he has said he is a prisoner of war. Now, we know what happened. There was this very swift operation, very successful military operation by the Americans. He was picked up, and the Americans made it very clear. They knew what he was eating, they knew what he was wearing, they knew what he was. So if Nicolas Maduro has made a mistake, it is very clearly having someone very close to him, who was also very close to the Americans, is what the assessment here is. Nicolas Maduro, one of his very close associates, or at least one of his close associates, was someone who was giving the Americans every little bit of information, every scrap they wanted, and in real time, which is why the operation, as efficient as it was successful. Now, of course, comes the long haul. He will be in court. He will be charged with narco-terrorism, as he has, and of course, he has made it very clear that he is not guilty and he is a prisoner of war.
So, prisoner of war, that's what he's gone on to say, also telling in court that he is still president of Venezuela. Do stay with us. We have more breaking updates now coming in. On one hand, there is a hearing that's taking place in the United States, and Maduro will stay in the jail. The U.S. court has now denied it, with the next court hearing scheduled for the 17th of March. So Nicolas Maduro will stay in the New York jail with his next hearing scheduled for the 17th of March. The U.S. court has said that after the ousted Venezuelan leader pleaded not guilty, as of now, updates coming in that he is going to stay in jail. So, Srinjoy, like you were just mentioning, on expected lines, even as the hearing took place, and he went on to say he is still the Venezuelan president. He said he is not guilty, but the court has now given another date, 17th of March, which means for close to about 2 months, he is going to stay in New York. He is going to be in jail.
Yes, I would expect this entire legal proceedings to last even longer. You won't expect a verdict on the 17th of March. Now, of course, the legal system in New York and in the United States is a little quicker than ours. But nevertheless, you would expect this to be a little long drawn. You would expect further inputs to come in from both sides. You would expect international intervention or attempted international intervention. So a lot could happen over these 2 months and a bit. So we have to see how this turns out, because it's entirely possible that the American government will find new evidence of drugs coming into America, of narco-terrorism, and so on. And on the other hand, you could have different arguments from Maduro's side. You could have independent entities intervening. So all of that could come up. So we will have to see how this turns out, because as you know, it's not only Maduro in court or Maduro in jail. It's also America speaking out very clearly against narco-terrorism. It is also China, Russia, other countries calling this almost a criminal act. It's also the Venezuelan government wanting his release. So there is a lot at play at this point. How this turns out actually remains to be seen.
Okay, all right, Shinjoy, do stay with us.